Today we are starting the first class of 11th biology, in which we will take unit 1, diversity in living world, and today in this unit we are starting our chapter 1, the living world. And in this part 1, that topic that will be covered in today's class, first of all we will try to know that and we will recall about the concept of living. What is living? And today's class will focus on the characteristics of living beings. In general, we are talking about these characteristics like growth, reproduction, metabolism, cellular organization, consciousness, homeostasis, adaptation, and death. Side by side, in today's class, one thing should be clear to you after the class, that what is the basic difference between fundamental and general. When we are talking about the general characteristic feature, means these characteristic feature do not have any contradiction, or we can say that they can be one of the characteristic or property that can be seen in living, as well as sometimes we can see these characteristic in non-living also. For example, like in case of growth, we can consider this as the general characteristic feature. But metabolism is the fundamental characteristic feature which is specifically found in living organisms. Means fundamental means specific, unique, or important characteristic feature of living things. But in general characteristic, growth and movement are also coming, which can be seen in non-living also. Okay, that should be clear to you after the end of the class. That means in today's class, our learning outcomes that we are expecting after the class, you will be able to know about. In knowledge based outcomes, all students will be able to know and recall the basic knowledge of living and non-living, and you will also be able to know fundamental characteristic feature of living beings. In skill based outcomes, we can expect after today's class, you will be able to practice your listening skills to differentiate between living and non living, and you can analyze and compare general characteristic features and fundamental characteristic feature of living beings with some contradictory points. And competencies that can be expected after this class, if you will learn in a proper manner: collaborative learning, we can develop critical thinking and problem solving attitude, and communication skill also can be improved. Now let's start with our today's class, and the question, what is living? As you know that living beings or organisms are found almost everywhere on earth: in the air, water, soil, forest, oceans, hot springs, deserts, and so on. Living beings are of different types. For examples, bacteria, fungi, plants, animals, and human beings that you have already studied in earlier classes also. How can you differentiate between a living being and a non living thing? For this, you can check for some specific characteristic feature. Means today basically we will try to know that what are the general characteristic feature that we have already known about the living things, and what are the specific characteristic feature which are known as fundamental characteristic feature. Now here you can see that this is the word of living organism, where unicellular bacteria are also coming and multicellular organism like these higher groups of plants and animals are also coming. Now come to the next presentation. Here we will focus on characteristics of living beings, as we have already studied, and from earlier classes we are knowing all these basic characteristic feature of living beings as general characteristics. Living beings show some characteristics which are not seen in non-living things, or on the basis of which we can classify the living and non-living. Let us look at some of these more closely. Now, here you can see that characteristic of living beings in which growth is also coming, reproduction, and cellular organization, in which you have already studied in class ninth also about the cells and tissues. Then, one important function that is also coming as one of the important characteristic, homeostasis, awareness, which is also known as consciousness, adaptations, and metabolism. These are the characteristic feature of living beings that we are about which we are learning in today's class. Now, first of all, we will talk about the growth. Growth as a general characteristic feature, you can say that living organisms grow because of cell division. Plants grow throughout their lifespan. On the other hand, animals grow till a certain age. However, cell division continues with the main purpose of replacing lost cells in them. Growth in living beings is internal and it leads to an increase in body mass. That's why we can say that sometimes we have seen growth is seen in non-living things also, like a sand dune is also growing when sand is getting collected at one place, but that growth is external. In case of living beings, growth is internal and it leads to an increase in body mass, and sometimes non-living things, that's why we are saying that, also exhibit an increase in mass. However, this happens because of the accumulation of material externally, and hence it is not considered to be growth. That's why we can say that growth is a general characteristic feature, but it cannot be considered as one of the essential feature, or we can say that fundamental characteristic feature of the living things, because sometimes that word growth can mislead the growth in non-living things also. Okay, it is the basic characteristic. Now come to the next part, that is reproduction. Reproduction is one of the another important characteristic feature. The capacity to reproduce is another characteristic feature of living beings that we already know in class 10th also. You have studied about it. Reproduction, as we know, is a process by which living beings produce new individuals of the same type. And reproduction can take place by sexual or asexual methods. The resulting offsprings show characteristics which are similar to those of their parents, and non living things cannot reproduce. Now, here you can see that you can recall your knowledge of asexual reproduction in amoeba that you have studied in class 10th, and sexual reproduction in human beings. Now, come to the next point, that is metabolism. The body of living beings, as we know, is composed of multiple cells or multiple chemicals. And these chemicals continuously react with each other to form new biomolecules, or to degrade, modify, or to modify existing biomolecules. Reactions which lead to the formation of new biomolecules inside the cell are called anabolic reactions, and also known as anabolism, while those which lead to the degradation or modification of existing biomolecules are called catabolic reaction or catabolism. And collectively, these two words, anabolism and catabolism, or anabolic reactions and catabolic reactions, constitute a process called metabolism, or we can say that by which a living organism be functional, and non-living things do not exhibit metabolism. That's why we can consider it as one of the fundamental characteristic feature. And here you can see the cell metabolism, or inside a cell, how the energy is produced by the cellular building blocks with the help of food and catabolic pathway in the form of respiration, and these macromolecules get converted into micromolecules. Okay, and in later on chapters you will study about the metabolism in detail. Now the next characteristic that we are talking about is awareness or consciousness. As we know that all living beings are aware or conscious of their surrounding, and they respond to different changes in the environment. The stimuli could be physical. For example, when temperature increases, we took out uh, or we are look out for shade, or when chemicals, for example, the scent of flowers draws insects towards it. That is also a type of stimuli which is physically we can observe, or sometimes biological stimuli are also there. For example, when light is powerful, we tend to close our eyes. At that time, automatically our eyes get closed to protect from these harmful stimuli to us or our eyes. And awareness is not seen in non living things. That response to stimuli, which is known as consciousness, is not present in non living things. That's why we can consider this characteristic feature also a fundamental characteristic feature. Now, come to the next. This is the cellular organization. As you know that all living organisms are composed of cells, and cells are the structural and functional unit of an organism. And in higher animals, similar cells form the tissues in an organized manner. When there will be a division of labor between the cells, then tissues are formed which perform specific functions, and that division of labor makes them more effective and efficient to do their functions. Cells can divide, and this is the basis of growth here. And cellular organization is not seen in non living things. This type of organization we cannot see in the non living organism. That means this property or this characteristic feature can also be considered as fundamental or important feature of the living organism on which life is based, and there is no any contradiction regarding cellular organization. Now come to the next important characteristic feature which is also considered as fundamental characteristic, that is homeostasis. Homeostasis is a property by which organisms can regulate their internal environment with the external environment. Homeostasis includes the regulation of blood glucose level, temperature, pH, and so on. As we know that homeostatic regulation is usually achieved through the release of hormones into the bloodstream, and this fact you have already studied in your class 10th in control and coordination, where you have learned about the chemical control and coordination. Basically, that chemical control and coordination is responsible for homeostasis in the living organisms. For example, in human blood, the regulation of blood glucose level is achieved by two hormones, insulin and glucagon. These hormones are released based on the blood sugar level, and this is one of the example of homeostasis. To understand the homeostasis, you can see this example that is clear to you and you can recall from your 10th class knowledge also. And here this is a diagram which is showing you in a schematic way how the homeostasis of sodium and potassium is going on inside our body. Means homeostasis, for the homeostasis these ionic balance is important for the body regulation, or we can say that to regulate the body internally. Now come to the one another characteristic feature that is known as adaptations. And living organisms possesses the tendency to undergo changes at a structural, functional or behavioral level to adapt to the changing environment. The changes are seen over long period of time, and adaptations help living organism to survive in adverse conditions. And some of the examples of adaptation that you have already studied, and now we are recalling in this chapter all these examples. One of the two examples here given, like in case of giraffe, developed long necks and long legs so that they could reach the leaves of the tall trees seen in grasslands. And that uh, long necks are developed due to the adaptation process in living beings. And plants in desert regions developed needle shaped leaves so that water loss from them can be minimized. And this adaptation also prevents animals from eating these plants also, and giving they are acting as their defense system also. You can see here one cactus in which thorns are coming there, and that help to protect them from grazing animals. And here you can see that that is the early we can say the early time period in during when there is a smaller neck in the short neck in giraffe, and during time period of evolution, and that neck is evolved into a long neck when there is uh, lack of nutrition in the mm, lower medium, and then they stretch their necks and adopt that feature. Now come to the death, which is also one of the characteristic or fundamental characteristic, we can say that present in living organism. Dead body of an animal and a dead tree is shown here, means animals are also getting dead and plants are also getting dead. And all organisms die after a period of time after completion of their lifespan. Death can occur naturally because of wear and tear or because of various diseases, and non living things do not die. We can say that this is one of the characteristic feature of living. Now, have a quick recap. In this presentation, we have discussed about main points that we have covered in this topic. Living beings are found almost everywhere in the air, water, soil, forest, oceans, hot springs, desert, and so on. And living beings are of different types, for example, bacteria, fungi, plants, animals, and human beings, about which we will classify in next chapters, biological classification, and we will go for detail of these to learn detail about them. Living beings show specific characters based on which they can be distinguished from non living things, which are known as their fundamental characteristic feature. Out of these characteristic features, some of the characteristic feature like growth and reproduction are not cannot be considered as the fundamental, because sometimes we can say that those who are not able to reproduce, they are also living. We cannot consider them those. Sometimes we can see that in vitro fertilization is also going on, and that's why we can consider reproduction mm, cannot be considered as the fundamental characteristic feature. And growth is also one contradictory characteristic of the living, where we can say that sometimes growth can be seen in the non living also. In the same way, movement, non-living objects can also move. Always living or objects are not only living objects, but non-living objects can also move. That's why movement, growth, even reproduction also cannot be considered as the fundamental characteristic feature. The important characteristic of living beings include growth. Here they have mentioned here the reproduction, but in when we are talking about the fundamental characteristic feature, then we will not consider a reproduction as a fundamental characteristic feature. Why? Because there is a contradictory point that those persons which cannot reproduce, they are also living in this world. And metabolism we can consider as one of the important characteristic feature. Growth we have already discussed is also giving us the contradictory statement, like growth of a sand dunes and sand dunes, etc., also contradicting that this cannot be considered as the fundamental characteristic feature. Awareness, yes, consciousness, which is not present in non-living things, is one of the fundamental characteristic feature of living things. Cellular organization is also can be considered as the fundamental characteristic feature. and homeostasis, adaptations, and death are also the some of the other important characteristic feature of the living beings. Now, after completing this PPT, let's try to understand the living world with the help of this media presentation, and with this you will be more clear about the living world.
Traits of organisms.
Watch and listen carefully.
Look at these organisms. They look so different from each other. Do you think there could be any underlying similarity between them? All of them are living things. Hence, they have common features despite their strikingly dissimilar appearances. Let us look at the common features of living beings. The essential features exhibited by all living organisms are growth, cellular organization, metabolism, consciousness, homeostasis, adaptations, reproduction, and death. Click a tab to learn more.
Now, one by one, we will try to understand once again about
Growth is quite obvious in multicellular organisms. They grow in size by cell division, and their shape becomes more defined with age. However, even unicellular organisms increase in size till they reach an optimum size and then divide.
But that growth, as I have told you, cannot be considered as the fundamental characteristic feature because growth can be seen in non living things also.
All the vital functions needed for life are carried out by a single cell in unicellular organisms such as bacteria and protozoa. In multicellular organisms, the cells get differentiated to perform specialized functions. The different levels of organization in multicellular organisms are cells, tissues, organs, organ systems, and finally, the organism.
And that cellular organization can be considered as one of the fundamental characteristic of the living.
All organisms, whether they are unicellular or multicellular, need to obtain and use energy for living. Different internal processes, such as respiration and digestion, help the organisms to do so. These processes involve many biochemical reactions. The sum total of all the biochemical reactions in the body is known as metabolism.
That means metabolism can also be considered as one of the important or fundamental characteristic
All
feature
living
of
organisms are conscious of the changes in their physical and chemical environment. For example, a bacterium will move towards nutrients like glucose and amino acids and away from toxic chemicals. A plant grows towards sunlight. A fish moves away from its predator. A human being moves his hand away from a hot object.
that is about the consciousness, which is also one of the fundamental characteristic of living.
All
Homeostasis.
living organisms need to maintain a constant internal environment. This process is called homeostasis. Transpiration in plants is a mechanism for maintaining water balance. Marine fish regulate their saltwater balance by excreting highly concentrated urine. Body temperature in humans is maintained by perspiration in hot weather.
And this is known as homeostasis, which is also one of the fundamental characteristic. Now come to the
Living
adaptation.
organisms adapt to their environment. This ensures the survival and continuity of a species. Fishes gulp water through the mouth. This water enters the gill arches, where an exchange of dissolved oxygen in water and carbon dioxide in fish blood takes place across the fine capillaries. Human lungs are adapted to terrestrial life. Oxygen rich air enters through the nose and reaches the alveoli. Exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide takes place across alveolar and capillary walls.
Now come to know about the reproduction and
All living organisms produce offspring similar to themselves. Unicellular organisms like bacteria reproduce by binary fission and other methods. Plants like mosses and ferns reproduce sexually as well as asexually by producing spores. In higher organisms, reproduction is sexual.
but that I have also discussed with you, there is also one contradictory statement that reproduction cannot be considered as one of the fundamental characteristic feature. Why? Because sometimes we have seen in our living world living beings which cannot reproduce or infertile couple are also living. Okay. Now come to the death as
All
a
living organisms have a fixed lifespan, at the end of which they die. The lifespan of all organisms varies.
and with that we have finished about our this topic about the living, what are livings and what are the important fundamental characteristic feature of living things.